Hello, football fans. Well, week two's in the books. Of course, the central story of week two was, of course, Tua. Now, we saw it. Sadly, it happened again. It was late in the third quarter, and another concussion for Tua. That's his third, well, really his fourth in the last three seasons because he had three in all of 2022. We all remember how that was played out. He suffered one in a game against Buffalo. They put him back out there, and after a flight, they put him back out there for the next game, which was 4 days later, another Thursday night game, and it happened to him again. And of course, he was lit up a bit in the game against the Christmas Eve, well, not Christmas Eve, it was actually Christmas Day game against the Packers that same year. And we all saw how it happened. As he was running the ball, his head was lowered, and he struck, and his head came in contact with, of all Bills players, Damar Hamlin. So, yeah, another concussion. He's now on the IR. He'll be out for at least a month. And of course, there was talk right after that happened about Tua needing to hang it up because he's had too many of these. He has had too many of these in such a short time. He's only 26 years old, but he's had too many head hits, these bad head hits. And of course, there's also some criticism about, he needs to slide when he's running like that. He led with his head. That's going to leave him wide open for that. So, of course, Tua's retirement's elastic on his fight. I thought he's only 26, and he feels he's got a lot to play for. But of course, the lesser story in this game was the Bills just dominated the Dolphins, and before the concussion, Tua was not having a good game. He threw 3 interceptions, one of them which was returned all the way, and they are one down in a very important season set, and that was a home game for Miami. They're gonna have to go to Buffalo at some point in the season. So that's how week two began, and of course, as for the rest of week two, we Packer fans watched our first game without number 10, as he was sidelined, but Malik Willis took care of it. Well, he did his thing, and the running game really took care of it, and the defense. We intercepted Anthony Richardson 3 times. So that was a big win for the Packers, which was win number 800. Win number 800 for the franchise, the first team to reach that many. And of course, seeing Malik Willis ball was pretty suffering for Titans fans because they had to watch their team at home, lose at home to the New York Jets for Aaron Rodgers' first Jets victory, a big road win. That's pretty good. So we also had overtime again. The Seahawks took it to the Patriots, won in overtime, and elsewhere the Lions lost it at home to Tampa. That was a big one. Speaking of big, what the hell happened to Dallas's defense? I mean, the Saints marched in to Jerry World and just, you think they were the Packers in disguise, but in all seriousness, it's a problem. It's a big problem for Dallas. That defense, especially at home, Dallas in their last 2 home games, counting the wild card game. The last 2 home games have given up 92 points. That's not good. That defense needs to shape up. And it's very interesting because, the leader of that defense, many say, is Micah Parsons. And, he's expected to be the next player to receive his payday because, CD got paid and Dak got paid hours before kickoff last week. So will Parsons get his big check? We'll see. Though at least Dallas isn't that much trouble. You know who is, shockingly? The Ravens. Ravens lost their home opener to the Raiders, and now this team who lost 4 games all year, well, all last year, well, really 3. That 4th was because they benched everybody. They lost 4 games all year. They're 0-2 already. That's a problem. That is a problem. They um they need to get back on track. I think they will. I really think they will because they got the man. They got Lamar. He has a running back finally, Derrick Henry. I think Zay Flowers may need to step it up a bit, but yeah, they should get back on track. You know who is on track? Steelers. 2-0 after beating Denver. And of course, that was in the late window. Of course, the centerpiece of that late window was the Chiefs getting handed a victory by the Zebras. Seriously, that fumble, Joe Burrow was down. 5 seconds after the ball came out, 5 seconds after he was down, but they called it a fumble and they let that touchdown stand. And then the passer, not a pass interference, was right though. That's what sucks. It was a mix of ref ball and stupid penalty. So Kansas City escaped again. And oh yeah, and also earlier today, Minnesota won. I still can't believe this. What the hell is wrong? Why is Brock Purdy suddenly allergic to beating the Vikings? You know, and of course, at least the Bears lost. Bears lost Sunday Night Football. Monday Night Football. That was the kicker. The Falcons pulled out a massive win, and it was all because that pass play, Saquon dropped it, and then that allowed the field goal made it a 6-point game. Atlanta, with no timeouts and about a minute and a half left, was able to go down the field in about a minute, barely over a minute, and get what would be the winning score. They took the lead and then they intercepted Hurts. So yeah, that's a crippling loss for the Eagles, who, counting the playoffs and dating back to last year, I think they've lost. I think it's 7 of their last 9 games. I think I have that right. Yeah, I mean they were 10-1. They were 10-1 to start last year, and then they ended up at 11-6. And they lost a wild card game. That's 6. No, they've lost. They've lost 7. They lost 7 of their. No, they've lost 6 of 8. Actually, sorry about that. But anyway, it's shaky. It's early, but they can fix it. And here's a crazy thing: as a result of everything else that happened, you know who's leading the NFC East? The Washington Commanders. Yeah, they beat the Giants without. They beat the Giants without getting the end zone. They scored 21 points, all field goals. Yeah, 7 field goals. So, yeah, Washington's in first place. I say drink it in. Drink it in. That'll give DC something to be happy about before hockey starts and they watch Ovechkin go for that record. But anyway, so that is my recap of week number 2 and what's in store for week 3 starting tomorrow night. Well, of course, we had Bills Dolphins last week. We get the other half of the AFC East, the Patriots and the Jets on Thursday Night Football. The Packers are in Tennessee, so already Malik Willis will be facing his old team and his old stomping grounds. The Steelers and Chargers battle 2-0 teams. Chargers 2-0. That's really nice. They will battle it out. The Saints host the Eagles. The Lions go to Arizona. The Panthers, who now start Andy Dalton, will head to Vegas. 49ers and Rams play each other. That's going to be interesting because they're both missing key players due to injury. Falcons, Chiefs on Sunday night, and 2 Monday night games, Jaguars, Bills, and the first place Commanders are in Cincy, who also needs to win. Cincy does, because they're on 2. So that's a recap of week number 2. Sorry for 3 fingers. I got a little overzealous. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok, feel free to hit that follow button. My story about week 2 will be featured. Check it out when you can, and it will also feature a separate story about the Thursday night game, so check that out too. And I'll be back in a few days to get you ready for the final week of baseball, so stay tuned.